So this story happened during my sophomore year in the university. To give you a little background before we start, I was studying abroad at that time and I was sharing a room with two other guys. Well, occasionally there would be one more guy involved, but that's a plot for a whole different video. Back to the script. So it was one of these boring winter evenings when you can't really go outside without freezing to death, but there is nothing to do indoors as well, when this brilliant idea struck me. I got tired of doing nonsense, so I turned to my roommate and said this: "Oh, wouldn't it be cool to create a social network account of a girl and troll strangers on the internet?" To which he responded, "Huh." The next thing we find ourselves doing is looking for a suitable profile pic and scrolling through the list of the most popular names and surnames to pick an appropriate one. Once we set up the page, we encounter a literal shitstorm of messages from guys who just passed puberty and entered the reality of being adult and having to cook for themselves. Contents of these texts range from, "Oh, you look nice," to "Let's hook up tomorrow and go to my place, babe." I should mention that we put my hometown as the fake girl's place of residence to evade responsibility for our responses, which were at times pretty irresponsible. This continued for a couple of months until this one specific young man texted. At first, he wasn't any different from hundreds of other people spamming us, but for some reason we decided to troll him in a different way. For comic purposes, I will further call this guy Andy. Andy was in his senior year in high school and he wasn't sure about what to do next. So we started to collectively come up with ideas about student life to expose him to. It went downhill quickly, and in about a week from when he first texted, he had learned that university students organize orgies in the dormitories, and that's a part of the freshman initiation ritual. Naturally, he gained a lot of interest in that specific part of student life and was asking for more and more detail about how it all happens. One day, my roommates and I found out that our university is having an open doors day for senior high school students and their parents who are interested in investing their life savings into a worthless bachelor diploma for their child. And that was the time when we had this other brilliant idea. We should invite Andy so that he could come and take part in an orgy. And so we did. And to our surprise, Andy decided to actually come. With his mom. I should clarify here that there were no actual orgies during my time in the university. So sorry freshman students for crushing your dreams. On behalf of the fake girl, we told him that he could only attend the orgy if he's going to be bald, also having shaved his legs and arms, to which he responded positively, to our surprise. At that moment, we still didn't believe he'd actually come. A couple of days in advance before the orgy, we asked some of our friends to come to our room on that day to play some tabletop games and party. We briefed them that they should refer to this meeting as to an orgy, but there would be no actual orgy involved. As it was expected, not all of the people we knew turned out to be complete idiots without a moral compass, so most of them declined our proposal. But some didn't, so we were set and ready for the day X. On the day, I still had my doubts about whether or not Andy would show up at all. So I went to the university to attend an open doors day and help out with organizing stuff, and I can't express my surprise at the moment I actually recognized the guy from his social network profile pic. There were no doubts it was him. And also his mom was there. We asked one of the girls who was going to attend our party to present herself to Andy and to help him out in getting to the actual place, which she did. So we gathered in the room and started waiting for Andy to come. Just before that, we texted him from that same fake account that the fake girl wouldn't be able to join us. Well, big surprise, she's fake after all. Once he arrived, we set up some tabletop game and started playing it, but he would just sit aside with one of my roommates and a friend of ours. Andy looked a bit nervous at first, but eventually he got over it and began showing interest to the stuff that was happening around. So he turns to my roommate and asks him, "Do you always start it this way?" To which my roommate responds, "Start what?" "Well, fun?" And he says, most of the people in the room were already having enough fun and didn't have any idea about the type of fun he was talking about. Okay, they actually did, because we mentioned that there would be a guy who came to take part in a non-existent orgy. Andy spent about an hour more in our room not understanding what's going on until my roommate's friend said that the party's over and everyone is leaving. Should I say that in the end Andy didn't get that it was not a real orgy and was very disappointed that he couldn't have a chance to stay for the actual fun part. After that, he stormed the fake account with messages about how the fake girl let him down and how he will never trust her ever again. Yeah, he never realized that the fake girl was actually fake. Next day, he went back home and we never heard of him again except for some occasional messages he would send asking about upcoming orgies. The moral of the story is, don't go to a different city to participate in an orgy after an invitation from a person you have never met in person, or else your mom might get disappointed with you. Okay guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this kind of content, consider smashing the like button and sharing the video. Also feel free to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about weird stories that happened in your life. Thank you for watching and until next time.